Welcome back, everybody, to another lovely video. Today I have some pretty clear goals that I want to get done. First things first, we're going to tear down this Ferris wheel. I want to open up this plot because we're going to build something here. I've wanted to build something here for a long time, and I can't stand this Ferris wheel. It's so bad. And then I got this inspiration from the last episode where we built this tower, so go check that out if you didn't watch that. There's this island right here, and I've been looking at this island a lot. And we talked about extending the road. So the road kind of goes through this main strip and goes through here. And I noticed that if we were to carry this road through here, there's this island in the way, this piece right here. And I think this is such a unique feature, like this kind of donut water area right here. Like, it's so cool. And I don't want to close off this canal just yet. So what I think I'm going to do is take this road and curve it around this side of the island so you can see where it kind of like bends this way. And then I'm going to build a small bridge over here. And that's where the road is going to continue because we talked about the point of view from this direction, how it's so cool to see the world from over here. For me, it makes sense because we already have this extension over here. So we'll just take the road and kind of get it to go this way. And I don't want to... Oh, what is this? There's obviously this river over here, and I want to keep all of this water around here. I don't want to get rid of it. So I think we're going to build some sort of bridge today here, and we're going to decorate this island. So I think we're going to do the island first, and then we'll do the bridge. It's not going to be a massive bridge or anything. It's going to be quite simplified, but it should be a lot of fun. So I'm going to go empty my inventory, and we'll just get started right away. And while I'm in here as well, like, I've been wanting to make this room a little nicer on the inside. It's a little all over the place, and it's been like this for many years. And I just find that I'm always like storing my shulkers in here, so I might make some sort of like shelving unit to put them in and make things a little easier for myself. But I don't know. We'll see about that maybe for the next episode or something like that. All right, so here is what I planned. I am going to absolutely cover this area in what we did over here. So we have kind of like these trees that we built. We have this giant tree here, and we got this stuff, and this river is just insane. This was inspired from a Instagram post that I saw, which I think was a wax fraud build. I can't be 100% certain on that, but I think it was. And I just love this river. Like, I absolutely love it. And I have wanted to cover the outside of the island like this for a long time, but obviously this river took me days to complete. So we won't be able to finish all of this river like that, but we can do this little area right here for today, which is what we're going to do. So I have all of the stuff that I want, which is all of our leaves, maybe more towards the back over here, kind of something like this. You don't want it to have too even of a shape, and we'll use stairs at the bottom. And then we're just going to build it up a little bit. So this is kind of like the trunk. And then we're going to transition to... Let's see, actually. Okay, so we use the polished basalt for the bottom. Does this block transition better than this block? Oh, they're kind of different hues, aren't they? Now, that might not work then, yeah, the acacia wood might not work because that's more of an orange hue. So I think I might just stick with that. Okay, and then usually, I think this is where I'm going to split it. So that's a pretty good tree trunk. That was very wide. But usually, like you can see the tree there, it splits outwards. And so now we can split this thing out. But normally we'd use fences, right? I haven't done this in a while. Well, take a look at where I am. I have a feeling very few people will remember where this is. And there's even still some copper left around here. I'm going to snag that, but there's a reason I actually came over here. But this build, right here, my favorite thing about this build is this tree. And, oh no, actually, hold on. Do I want to destroy it? I mean, like, this is such a cool build. I don't want to destroy the build. Like, this is one of my favorite builds that I've made. And I just love it here. Maybe I've got some extra? It's been so long since I've been here. Oh my gosh, I've got so much extra. Okay, we don't have to worry about wool. That's easy to get. We got the sheep farm back home. And it looks like orange and red glass panes. Seems pretty straightforward. Honestly, the base is like what we already did. So I love this tree so much. And one of my least favorite things about it is that I never get to see it because I built this so far away from my house. So I want to build something like this back at the main base so I can just see it more often. And it's one of the reasons why I like never came out here after we built this, was because it was just so far away. So I wanted to come. Do sunflowers give you yellow dye if you break them? They most certainly do. Okay, I will be taking this with me. All right, what you are about to witness is some ingenious Minecraft. This is how we're going to do this. So the whole reason I grabbed those sunflowers was to make this yellow dye, because I want a bunch of yellow wool, because this is what we're going to use as one of the main blocks. So this yellow glazed terracotta is going to be our main leaf block, and then this will be our secondary leaf block. And then we have the azalea leaves to add a little bit of green in there. It should look very nice. And of course, then we're just going to dither some other yellow blocks in there. Like I've got some hay bales. I think that matches nicely. Probably some of this yellow terracotta. So lots of yellow blocks, but this is where the smarts of Minecraft comes in. Obviously, we would need a lot of those if we're going to build this tree, right? Because this doesn't look like that many leaves, but this is like 5 stacks of leaves. So it's a lot of blocks, and I don't have 5 stacks of this stuff. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use these birch leaves, because I've got plenty of this, as the filler blocks. So we're going to make everything out of birch leaves first, and then we're going to do a coating layer over it of the yellow, and it should look really cool. So I'm just going to spend the next, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes doing that, and then we'll cover it with yellow, and it should look pretty awesome when we finish. All right, that's the base layer done. Obviously, it looks a little weird, right? It doesn't completely look like a tree, but that's because this stuff is going to cover it. So if you could just imagine what we did over there on the tree that I just showed you, the same thing is going to happen here. I forgot that side right there. But now it's time to place all of the yellow blocks. Okay, it's starting to get there. It's not as yellow as I would like it to be. I think I really need to cover up that spot, actually. But it's getting there. I think this block really makes a big difference, this yellow glazed terracotta, but this should be a good start for now. I've checked pretty much all the angles and it looks decent, so. All right, we're definitely getting there. It has massively improved since the birch leaf version, so I'm sure you can tell what I was trying to do there. And now the last thing I need to do is add the azalea leaves, and that's really going to bring out that green hue in the tree. And then I made some yellow glass panes, and I have some green ones as well, and I'm just going to try and mix those like hanging off of it to I don't know, add a little bit of flair to it, I guess. But this green azalea leaf is going to make a huge difference, so we'll dither these around a little bit. All right, I think that's mostly the tree done. I am definitely going to get rid of that block right there. That is, hold on a second. It's not done. Okay, not quite. I need to fill up that space a little bit. How about that? That's much better. There we go. What a beautiful, beautiful build that is. That looks so cool. I'm happy that I finally have something like that now around here, because that was one of my favorite builds I made back at the other wind temple thing. And it was always such a pain that I never got to see it because I built it so far away. So now we have it by our main base, but we're not done yet. We've got a lot more to do. And while we're on the topic, I can show you what I was talking about with using the darker colors towards the bottom. So you can see I went lighter at the top, and then as the tree goes downwards, I changed the shade to the yellow the yellow terracotta. So we have yellow glazed terracotta on the top, then the yellow wool and the hay bales, and then the yellow glazed terracotta. So a little bit of shading going on there, and I actually think it works really, really, really nicely. And of course, the glass panes just add a lot of depth. So yeah, I really like how this build turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. But we got to transform the rest of the island around it, because now it looks a little out of place, right? So that's our next thing to do. All right. I think I completely transformed that island. There's a few more things I want to do. I hope I have like some flowers or stuff. I mean, pink is a bit of a bright block. We can try it. But you can see what I did here. I basically completely lined this whole ring with coral and just all the things that you find in a coral reef to match what we did over there. And then I think I'll add some bamboo along the sides. But I wanted to add one of these because I just love the effect that these give. And maybe we could fly around and try and find a firefly bush. There you go. I mean, the only problem with this block, right, is that it's pink. So, like, you definitely see it when you place it. And I just don't know if these flowers are going to mix all that well. I'll put them here anyways. I'm just going to try. I'm going to try the cherry leaves. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. But just a few of them. All right, just to get a little more yellow in here, I'm going to put this right there. So there's like a yellow sight line when you look at it. It's a little more green, actually. And then I'm going to take one of these and just put it right there. Unfortunately, they don't... maybe I should put it in a spot where you can see it. All right, I'm going to try something new here. I haven't done this before. I've never actually done... Okay, I don't know why it has placed on the side like that. Huh. I didn't even know that bamboo doesn't grow in the center of a block. I think we're going to call it there because that took way longer than expected. That was like 2 hours, maybe even a little bit more. So that's our build for today, the Tree of Life. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll take a look around. I'm getting better at that. I know in the past few episodes I've ended it off without showing you too much of the build. So we'll take a look around. It's going to look a little weird because we didn't finish this hill and all that other stuff. There's a lot of things we got to finish around here, all right? That's a bit of a problem I have. Not afraid to admit it. But yeah, so this is the tree up close. So we used basalt, tuff, spruce wood stairs, spruce fences, and then we had hay bales, yellow glazed terracotta, yellow wool, azalea leaves, and birch leaves. So quite a lot of blocks. And then just used a lot of foliage on the bottom here to make it look very overgrown and botanical, I guess is the word you could use. And then this coral reef section, which really makes a huge difference in this. And I just went through a coral reef and just mined it with Silk Touch and just got all the blocks I could from that and basically just spammed them around down here, mixing in some tough slabs as well to make it look a little like rocky and beachy and stuff. And I think it turned out really nice, especially just kind of the natural shape of this area has this ring to it and it's isolated with this big tree. I think it's really cool. So I'm happy with this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I literally forgot that I used to do this, so I am going to answer a comment of the day. All right, today's comment comes from the Turbo Pigeon, which I believe he watched my podcast episode. So I think some of you have probably seen that community post, so if you're interested in hearing me talk, I do have a podcast. And I believe he commented on that. I recognize this username. And I think I accidentally called him the Turbo Penguin in that podcast. It's actually the Turbo Pigeon. The only video I was happy to get an ad on. I love to try and support smaller creators. I'm adding that word in there because I think that's what he meant to say. And I would argue better creators than the mainstream, overly edited, loud, and flamboyant ones we often see in modern YouTube. Well, for one, thank you very much. I do appreciate it for your nice comment. And of course, I have tried to limit the amount of ads that I put on my videos because I was thinking about it from my perspective. Like when I watch a YouTuber and they have like 4 ads in like a 7-8 minute video, like it just really bothers me and it makes me click off of the video. So when I place the ads in the videos, I just try to have like 1 or 2 of them and I try not to go over that. So just so that, you know, it's easier to stay engaged in the video and there's not so many breaks and stuff like that. Yeah, I think modern YouTube is kind of a mixed bag, right? There's a lot of overly edited videos, but there's also a lot of simple videos too. So I think it's good to find your preference and, you know, watch the type of videos that you want to watch. Like I'm a big believer in the classic style of videos. Like I don't really like overly edited videos, or attention span videos is what I like to call them, where there's just cuts every 3 seconds and splash screen all over the text and all that. Like it's just not really the type of YouTube videos I like to watch. And so that, I remember when I made this channel, that was the whole reason I started it, was to make videos where I didn't have to do that. And that's why my videos are the way they are, right? Is because I don't watch those other style of videos. I watch videos like what I make in here. I completely forgot I built this in here. This was a nice library. I wish I would like to finish it one day. But yeah, that was the main reason why I started this channel, right? Was to make simplified videos. And so I'm glad that you guys are enjoying them. And I'm sorry that I've been so inconsistent. You know, I just kind of had to figure out what I really wanted to do with this channel for a long time, but I think it's much more clear now what I want to accomplish. So, you know, just walking around in here is making me want to work in here. Like, I really do love this castle. I just haven't gotten the chance to work on it in such a long time. So, you know, maybe I'll go back to this in the next couple of episodes. So anyways, I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the new Tree of Life edition. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later, everybody. Thank you so much.